ready for that.
All right, I think I'm
Are
good.
you ready?
Big tax money comes in on now.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure to pass it out. Be sure to
Big
pass it
tax
out.
money.
Okay.
They're a joke.
I know
I'm not
saying-
sure they'll ever pan out and pay for themselves. But they pay a lot of
Okay,
tax money.
Mhm.
all right. We need to have a
Like to-
pledge.
I'll find
It's
out.
9 o'clock. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, lady and gentlemen. Did everybody have a chance to review the minutes?
So moved.
Second. Okay. Gary made the motion to approve the minutes. Tracy seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Probably need a couple minutes to look the claims over.
Yeah. About conservation phone, $9,900. It was a sheriff's vehicle parts.
Oh, you got on the wrong line. Okay.
Wow. That's a big phone bill. I get some big phone bills, but nothing like that.
Yours is getting better though. A little bit.
Oh, now we're burning up a bunch of credits on the one.
Mm.
I think it was page 6. I did have a question when you get over there. There's New Century Farm Service. And there are 3 entries, all the same value. One was a negative, so I presume
Yeah, the credit.
it was supposed to be just one of
Well,
those.
when we have an invoice, we have to enter it in as a separate credit, so. Yeah, secondary roads is,
Okay,
yeah,
well, that negative would
offset the other.
offset
So,
the
yeah.
other one, and so the total would be the 2663.90, correct?
Correct.
Okay. That's the way I was kind of
Yep.
reading it, but I just
Yep,
making
anytime we
sure.
have a credit invoice, we have to show it on there.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
You got all your vehicles squared around now?
I'm short one, but we'll wait and see where we're at.
But all storm damage is recovered, except for that one.
Yes.
I imagine you're waiting for insurance to come through, aren't you?
We got some of it.
Did you?
Mhm.
The biggest thing that we're waiting on the storm damage is the communication towers.
Oh,
And they
they're
did.
not fixed yet?
FEMA did ask some questions on that, so when we have that meeting, I'll probably have,
29th.
yes, please be to that one, so you can answer that one.
That's,
I don't know anything about the towers. Something about how much wind they can withstand and if we wanna up it up.
oh boy.
'Cause-
That's gonna take somebody with more know than I have.
That's what she was asking me, and I'm like, I have no idea.
I do know that some of the antennas that are bent, and one, the fan one tower busted in half, has a sticker right on it, says it's wind rated to 125 mile an hour.
Mhm.
And that one of those broke in half.
Well,
I got news, they say it's 100 something.
Well, it's more than that.
Yeah, it's probably 150 or 60.
We've still got one over here that's,
we just flew the drone over the courthouse this morning, Ben did, because there was birds getting in up there. We think the wind blew some of that copper
Really?
up in the dome. So I'll probably have to report that. I mean, we wouldn't have known that otherwise, so.
as for the insurance check that you got so far, do you have a breakdown of it?
We got a whole folder over there I can get for you.
Okay. Because, dog pound out there, I was curious how much they allowed.
Yep. He's got all that adjustment stuff in there. It's all broken down.
Okay. Good morning, Adam.
Just getting to be a regular in here.
I know. Nothing wrong with that.
We'll have your check sitting in there for you too.
You got $7,500 worth of
Your check will be
signs.
ready for you over there.
Yeah. They're not all fixed yet either, probably.
No. Haley,
Yep.
I got a couple of questions. Well, mine is basically, a couple of these numbers are doubled up. Is that like it's 2 different months?
Which one are you on?
All right, let's go, I'll pick on number 4, Kurt. Way towards the bottom, it's $50.
No, I pay him 2 different things. One is for the clerk storage rental. So they're 2 different ones. If you look at the 2 different line
I see
items.
they're always different numbers.
Yep.
Kinda like the second, number 3, courthouse water. You got 2 at $35.
Yep. Per invoice. And it.
Okay.
And the clerk, the Curdy, sometimes he's behind in billing, so it's probably 2 different months.
Okay.
But that's where I had to move all the files that were above the title company, and they're out to the old FS building.
Okay,
So that's what we pay $50 a month
okay.
for.
And then, I guess my last question is on the Benton Development. Second quarter was $6,000, that's on first page.
Mhm.
And then,
That one comes out of 2 funds.
okay.
The other-
and then-
Yeah. I was just gonna say the other part's out of lost.
And then the other, you also paid them $16,500 on page 8 for the local option sales tax.
We always split it out. Yep. For allocation. It's been done that way for years. There's the library allocations, all those are in here this time too.
Mm-hmm. We'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I'll second that.
Okay. Tracy made a motion to approve the claims, Gary seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Here's, item 7. And I need you to, both you fellas to initial that.
I didn't think what we had was that important. $1,088.
People want to know what you're doing. And I've had people tell me, you know, that they follow along, you know, for the papers. So,
$1,088, that's pretty steep.
well,
On paper.
no, I think it's 2 papers, isn't it, Terry?
What's that? Star Press and yeah, we have, well actually it's 3.
This is Bill from that newspaper.
So the Benton, we have 2 papers, the Tuesday and Friday, and then the Star Press. And I've saved you money by minimizing those resolutions.
Well, that's great.
It's expensive no matter what.
Yeah.
Try to keep my descriptions brief.
we wanna hit on? Gary?
Didn't.
Had conservation last night, met the new gal that they hired. Think I did anyway, she had a mask on.
You saw her eyes anyway.
Yep, I did.
Who did they hire?
But that,
Who did the conservation hire?
Wasn't she one of the seasonals this year?
yes,
I'm drawing a blank now.
Hagen, ain't it?
Yeah, I think. I gotta look.
Starts with an L.
I gotta look at Shelby's email and
Lily?
forget.
Lily? Yeah, Lily. Yeah, I met her.
Okay.
So they
I
hired her
figured-
full time?
Mhm.
Starts Monday.
She's added to,
She's gonna take care of the, yeah, she's gonna take care of the parks and she's gonna live in the house. So I think it's a good deal.
That'll be our river.
At the, which house
Yes.
is she in?
That's a
Wildcat?
busy spot.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, they're gonna hire somebody to fix the dog pound roof. So they got a bid on the roof and I didn't think it was too bad, so I'm just curious about what the insurance is gonna, what they allowed for the storm damage compared to what they're charging to fix it. They're only doing half the roof.
Yeah.
Uh,
That adjuster left us a bunch of reports, so.
Okay,
I'm gonna look
good.
them.
I'll look at that later, hopefully. And then, last but not least, they're really pushing that they think they wanna sell the Atkins property down there, the railroad tracks.
would they have a buyer?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So right now, the board, more or less give them permission to go out and contact or whoever, you know, and put an appraisal on it, just a ballpark figure, and then come back in November and report to the board, and then the board's gonna come here and ask permission to sell it, because they wanna, if they get it sold, they wanna take that money to help pay off that.
The Hart property.
Correct.
Which makes sense.
Yes, it does.
Good. Good.
They thinking about selling the whole thing.
Yes.
I think it would be
It butts
wise
next to a
have
subdivision
partner
too.
of some kind.
Well,
There's a lot of people use that out of that new addition.
true, but like I said, that it's down there, they're up here, they don't have time to take care of it. There's a lot of tree damage. And a lot of branches are still hanging in the trees.
I guess I would sell part of it and give part of it to Atkins if that's what they want to do.
Well, see, that's where some of the problem comes in. They wanna, some of the council wanted to help clean it up, and then, I don't wanna get in it too far here.
Yeah. We've got item 5 and 6 we could do rather quickly. I think item 6 is quite involved.
It's a huge one.
It is.
Nobody comes in and gets copies anymore. Wait, now we'll start selling plat books. We just got those in.
I'm making a motion
The new
to
ones.
approve the auditor's
26.
quarterly report.
Okay.
Not bad.
I get one.
Or handy.
No,
Okay, Tracy made the motion on item 6, the auditor's quarterly report to approve it. Gary seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. and I'll make the next motion for the recorder's report.
I'll second that.
All right, and Tracy again made the motion to approve the recorder's quarterly report. Gary seconded as well. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
We got a initial list or anything?
On the back.
Yeah.
I'll get you guys trained eventually, won't I?
Change the rules, Barclay.
I know.
Start over.
Have to show them where I file it and then they'll understand why we fold it that way.
Was that going to do a little stand up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Adam, it is 9:15.
Yes, the last time I was here, I didn't have numbers for you for updates on projects and contracts. So I was gonna come back and give you more of a detailed update on the projects that we have. We've had five different bid packages go out since early 2019. The first one was completed this in July of this year. The final payment was made. Our what was called a bid packet 3 was the county's largest as far as dollar wise. We awarded 6 different contracts to 4 different contractors. PCI had 3 contracts with approximately $1.3 million worth of work, and they are roughly sitting at about 90% complete on all of those jobs. They just are starting their last one here today over in Benton County, and it's not a very big job, so I think they should be done in about 2 weeks on that. Laser Precision had one contract for roughly $260,000, which they are, I would say, 95% complete, although they don't, there's some issues with that I'll get to in a little bit. Schrader Tiling and Terrain out of Atkins, they were awarded one contract for $630,000. They're, per pay request, 85% complete, although they're working on their last job site and they should finish it up this week. So they're going to be more or less done with their entire contract by the end of this week, which is good. Clover Earthworks was awarded one contract for roughly $500,000. They're sitting at 95% complete per pay request. I got some comments on that too, as I'll get into a little bit. Our recent bid projects, we had 3A, which was awarded to Hatch Grading out of Dysart for $300,000. They're about 85% complete with those 2 projects, which again, they'll be finishing up in the next probably 2 to 3 weeks on that contract. Bid Pack 3B was awarded 2 different contracts, one to PCI, one to Hatch Grading. A combined total of $1.1 million, and they're both about 90% complete. Totally anticipate those being done in the next 2 to 3 weeks as well, pending the weather stays the way it is. And then Bid Pack 5, Coal Excavating, they were just awarded their contract here a couple months ago. They just started their job south of Garrison 2.5 weeks ago. So I haven't gotten a pay request from them yet, but their contract's not done until June of next year. So on that first job, they're probably 40% complete. So overall, probably 20% of their contract is done. There are some items that I'm getting a little worried about, particularly with Bid Pack 3. All of our contracts were awarded in late 2019 with a completion date of November 1st of this year. By November 1st, all work has to be completed and pay requests and documentation has to be submitted and approved by that date, or there's a $500 a day liquidated damages until it is complete. That's right in the contract. One issue with Laser Precision, they never kept up with their paperwork. They were required to submit weekly payroll certifications as they work. They never did that, and so they're trying to get that all caught up on time. They don't really have any more work to do, but the paperwork goes along with the actual work, and so the grant administrator thinks he should be able to get all that completed by then, but just FYI on that, if it comes past November 1st, it falls under that category of liquidated damages. And then Clover Earthworks. That contractor has been very difficult to deal with. I had to have an observer on site every day just to make sure that he did in fact follow his contract requirements. He said he was completed with his work and he left the job site around June of this year. He came back to do some minor touch-ups on a leaky pipe in August, but has not submitted a final pay request and has not scheduled a final inspection and walkthrough with myself, just to verify if the work is completed. We had a tentative date, September 3rd, and he canceled and has not since reached out to reschedule. Obviously, 2 weeks away is their project deadline. So in the meantime, I sent our survey crew out to double check his work, because he has not put any effort in to do that himself, and has come back that there's still a fair amount of work that he has to do, both moving dirt and cleaning up job sites and making sure things are correct. This contractor has a history of not completing work for other counties and other projects and just leaving. Right now, we have about $25,000 in retainer fee from his pay request. That if it goes past that November 1st, there's that $500 a day kicks in, that he would not pay, or the county would not pay for, until all that work is completed and checked off. I just kind of want to give you an FYI at this point that I have a feeling that's probably not going to end well with that contractor. The one advantage is in all the contracts with the county, there's provisions that all contractors are bonded and insured, and so if work is not completed, we can pull on their bond and hire someone else to complete the work, in which then they would have to pay back the bonding company. I just want to let you know that was probably going to head down that path, just because the amount of time left in this contract period and their lack of effort to actually complete the work. I don't foresee them being able to do that in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be sending out a notice, just a reminder notice that their deadline is coming up. November 1st is a Sunday, by the way, so obviously it won't be working on a Sunday or a Saturday, but just an FYI. I don't want it to turn south, but I have a feeling it's going to. And yeah, and it's not like there hasn't been ample amount of time to complete the work. He's been off-site for over 3 months, and it's probably been one of the best construction seasons we've had weather-wise. So I know the owner's not real pleased with the lack of effort in completing his work, but I can't really force the contractor to come in and work, obviously, but just want to make sure that you guys are aware and supportive of the route we may have to go. We're going to try to give them notice to tell them to still have this, and give them a punch list item of what needs to be done yet. And hopefully they take care of it, but if not, which I don't think they will.
Would it do any good to contact the bonding company?
Well, not at this point. So I've talked with the engineering company, or the firm that manages that sort of thing for the county. Basically, until that retainer fee of, say, $24,000 plus or minus right now is met.
Mm-hmm.
So how many calendar days that takes. At that point, then their contract is terminated. And there's a process that the county would have to go through to do that. That is when the bonding company would be contacted. But we have plenty of justification and documentation of their, I don't want to call it negligence, but just poor effort.
It's 50 days.
50 days. So theoretically, by January, we could be at that position. So I don't want to have to go that route, but if they're not going to complete the work, which based off other counties that company's worked for, that there's a good chance we may have to.
What county is this project in?
This is in Benton County. Yeah, so it's for Mike Grimm. So his cattle properties, his cattle pasture just west of the Garrison turnoff, west of town here, is where he still has quite a bit of work left to do. So it's more of an FYI for you guys. And it is in the contract, and it is signed by both the county and the contractor, so it's not like it's a surprise. But I can't imagine you guys read through the 300-page project document, but it is in there, black and white, that that's what the county will do And I'll handle it as far as I can, but I don't, if push comes to shove, I think Dave might have to get more involved just to protect the county and myself, so. Hopefully it doesn't go that route, but I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up. I think we're gonna be sending him notice this week. I'm waiting for the survey data to be processed from the engineer before I send him out exactly what needs to be done. But other than that, those two contractors, everything else is going fairly well. Can't complain about the effort that the other contractors have made. They've done a fantastic job for the most part. A few small things come up here and there, but
And the way the weather's been, I mean, you can push dirt anywhere, even in a month.
yeah, it's even wet spots are dry enough to move equipment through. It's been pretty fantastic as far as dirt work goes.
5 inches of rain that we had, I don't know when it was, it only went down a couple feet, and it,
It literally had no impact on any job site, other than the top layer was a little greasy until it dried out, but it didn't really do anything didn't raise any of the stream levels or anything, so it was a nice rain to get, don't get me wrong, we
Yeah.
definitely needed it. Helped some of the grass start growing on some of the finished job sites, so. But that's where we're at with projects. I can type this up if you want an actual hard copy. But the first deadline for contracts is November 1st. The remaining is December, so I'm not too concerned about the other ones. It's just those two contractors because of no paperwork and then just no responsive. So, and Louis well aware of what's required and why he didn't keep up with his paperwork. It's not my responsibility to worry about, so. So we're trying to get that done and get him paid. He only submitted one pay request, and that was for site prep in March. And so sitting on roughly about $200,000 of his contract that we can't pay him. I mean, the county could pay him, but you wouldn't get reimbursed from the state because his paperwork has not been completed. So we're just kind of waiting for that approval from the grant administrator in the state. And
He did his tail and gear, doesn't he?
been trying. Not me, but the grant administrators.
Sure.
I don't know all the ins and outs of all the paperwork side. That's why they're hired to do that, not myself. So, but he's working with them. It's just kind of a shame he didn't keep up with it like he was supposed to. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
He was well aware up front. So
There's a lot of people that are very good at work, but pretty poor with paperwork.
yeah, he did a great job with
Yeah,
the projects he had to build. It just
yeah. I get it.
yeah, he for whatever reason
Yeah.
didn't keep up on his payroll certifications or any type of contractor clearances or anything. You know, he hires all his help out to subcontractors, and technically they're supposed to be approved before he starts work, and that didn't get done. So they didn't have the subcontractors didn't have the correct state paperwork. But they're working on it. They're getting it figured out, but we'll see. I guess so. So just wanted to keep you guys in the loop. Those are the only issues that are really at bay. So
Sweet. Good.
something comes up in the next couple of weeks, I'll report back as far as how that's going to go. So
Thank you. Item 7, is Mark coming up for that?
I don't think so. I had that packet.
Yeah, I've seen that. You have a chance to look at that item 7, which is the
He's
Vulcan
been aware of it and he was okay with me putting it on the agenda.
Acres First Edition to Benton County.
See, Adam?
thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
thank you, Adam. They're gonna put a well in for each house. For each, based on the review of the site and review of the tests taken, I believe that a private well for each lot will be adequate for the lots in the subdivision. That gets expensive.
But I also understand it, you know, having each property on their own well.
Yeah.
have a property with a shared well. And I bought the other parcel because of it being a shared well. Because, you know, who used the most water? Who created the wear and tear? And, you know, it just is not worth the hassle. So, yeah, I get it. Is there a motion to approve that?
Yeah.
Okay, second. All right. Gary made the motion to approve the final plat for Folkson.
It's by resolution.
Acres, first edition of Benton County,
You're saying aye.
and Tracy seconded, so Seaman, aye, and Primer, aye. Okay, we need to sign this. Other than the front, there's some pages.
No, just sign the resolution. When they send me the final plat, they have to have it signed and then they get it recorded.
Okay.
I know a gentleman that
They
has.
have to pay their lot
shared
fees
well.
and stuff.
You can only have so many people on a well. And without having to treat the water and all that.
Well, I think there's more issues with the size of the septic than there's the well,
Oh, yeah.
so.
All they have is, I think all they have is a well. But the well water, it don't cost a lot compared to city water. I mean.
Oh, no, not unless you pull a well, you know, well problems.
Exactly.
That's where your
That's
money
when it gets
comes in.
expensive.
Yeah.
Or your pumps. I've had to
Alford
replace
has
a pump.
lots of shared wells.
Who does?
Alford.
Then they got that,
2, 3, 4 houses off of one well.
yeah, that's what I think they can have is 4 at most. And then they got a water treatment plant, all their stuff comes to one spot.
And they did not want rural water come in there.
Well, rural water went past our house, I told them just keep on going. We don't, our water bill don't cost what it costs for them, we pump a lot of water. We were pumping 100,000 gallons a month. And our water bill was like $150, and that had house and all the other stuff on it too.
Meeting tonight, Van Horn.
I saw that.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it.
I think we'll be done here for.
Public?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to be somewhere at 11:30 today too, to
Okay.
speak. Guest speaker.
I always thought our water cost a lot of money, and then I pulled the heat lamps in the spring and our light bill went to nothing.
All that.
We're gonna get bombarded. There was no mail
Remember
yesterday.
who it was, but something with the well, so they
I'm dreading it.
How many you up to?
Oh, we're
they
at,
had rural water.
4,600 and
so they
some.
couldn't really have the well
it's
fixed.
been crazy.
Yeah, never, yeah. He said that, I don't know how many cows they were watering, but he said that was expensive.
And then it's steady at our counter all of the time. And a lot of people are coming in delivering them too. They don't.
Guy
leave it in
came
the
out, he
mail.
wanted to know how much money we
They
made and
come
all
out, we
this
hand them
stuff.
over, so.
Yeah, it's none of your business.
I said, how much money do we make? We don't have a printer.
But we're
Then they
done.
wanted to
We
go
have
on
one
our
more
side of the
machine to
road,
program and
cut
that's
all
it.
these tile.
No, jeez.
Our vendor's bringing every county an extra machine to have available, so that's kinda nice. If something were to go down.
Election night, if you count the ballots.
We got 212s.
The absentee, we get
They
a
would
start
find a way.
the Monday now,
Oh, really?
It could be ugly too.
I think we're going
All
to.
those tile.
Sure.
But you can't run them through the tabulator until election day. But they can start the process,
That's good.
yeah. Because we have till 10 p.m. on election day to have those done.
And
They're gonna have their work cut out.
biggest pleasure is to, in the spring when water is still cold, pop the hydrant and get a nice cold drink of water around June. And I was thinking about it, if I was on
And
rural
Myron's coming, I
water.
know, because he sent me the email me, the resolution.
The nearest,
I'm sorry.
the
Not an
nearest place
email me,
is
so I know he's on his way.
Never be done.
That's good.
My sister's tap water in Texas is just kind of lukewarm year round.
Yeah.
I have to go to Kansas City Friday for a wedding.
My daughter lives in
Going this
Austin.
Friday?
Mhm.
Really?
My son's in a wedding.
It's different out there.
Not his,
No,
okay.
he's a groomsman.
Oh, good.
Did they send you an email for the deal tonight?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
just
There
I
you go.
think yesterday later.
Right.
Yes.
I think there's 2 emails that came through for some reason.
Yeah, you got his.
Probably did.
I'll sell you one of mine.
I have a hard time just keeping up with all my inbox every day.
There you go. There's the email if you wanna.
Look at you go, Gary. You got your phone working.
It always has been.
I didn't think you could get your emails on there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
A few weeks ago, what'd you have? You couldn't get something.
Oh, that was my emails that day.
Yeah.
My phone ain't working very good though. It's getting old and I gotta get a new one.
That's in the design. It's only gonna last so long. Gotta have a new one.
About 2 years, I think, is all they do
Oh
anymore.
my goodness. I've had
This one's.
Once you drop them, mine's getting pretty.
No, it's not.
probably 6. I've probably had that one 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
Best one I ever had was just a little push button. It had no camera, nothing in it. That baby would stay charged for days. That was a good piece of equipment.
It's all the different apps that just drain your battery.
Motorola, that's what.
Hey, my Motorola has better antennas.
I believe that. Did you work out here Saturday downtown?
I was down here for a little bit and walked around. That was neat.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the agenda. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, God, that does go to my phone.
I don't remember either yet.
Didn't get one on that phone.
7 o'clock.
Push,
Let's see.
I didn't get it, so I'm not for it.
Feeling left out.
What?
I was telling them how the drone took a picture of them for us. To get one on there, you could show them.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait
man.
for Myron.
Is that your personal drone?
Yeah.
He's right now.
We need to fly the
Did
courthouse.
he make it himself?
He did.
That's what I did. I told him I'd probably try to take a better picture later, but it started to rain.
It's actually kind of high tech.
So there's a little spot there.
Yeah.
There's a little,
So where'd the bird go down to? He said he found one.
Huh.
I don't know, he's one at the cupola, so I don't know where. We can get better pictures later on too.
Oh, you already flew the courthouse.
Yeah, there's that little spot there that we noticed.
There's big enough wall the birds are getting in.
Yeah, I don't know, Rick. I told him we'll fly some more one it started spitting rain a little bit, and that one was supposed to fly in the rain. So
Gonna get windy this afternoon.
and then the wind's the other factor too. So I did have a little bit of a video. I actually flew it all the way around the whole courthouse. I realized after I got over here that I switched it to record mode, but I didn't actually record.
Good morning, Myron.
Morning.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
First Street. That'd be between 13th and 14th. Bill Salkin is working on putting up some solar panels. So he's gonna have kids involved or a conduit under the roadway to run electrical power line over there. I asked that he fill out a utility permit.
Okay, is there a motion to approve that utility permit?
So moved. Second.
Tracy made that motion. Gary seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Oh, let's see, today is the 13th.
10/13.
Go grab something quick.
With the storm damage, Windstream Communications has had their fiber line hanging on a lot of power poles, particularly on 22nd Avenue and 20th Avenue. They're gonna move those to underground instead. 22nd Avenue, basically from 60th Street Drive all the way south to 66th Street. During the storm, I think they did between 66th and 68th because they had some damage there. And then they'd also like to bury from 68th to 70th. And then in Van Horn, they're gonna go from a point in town west to 20th Avenue and then south to Highway 30.
Can you get that print off real quick?
Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
I see the map.
Who?
I think Jerry made the
Jerry
motion, correct?
Okay.
And
Tracy hasn't seconded.
Tracy hasn't done it yet.
Alright.
It's still ahead.
He has
It's
to
not
see the map.
snowing. Well, but as messed up as the rest of the year's been.
I think when they did that 2 miles for the most part between 66th and 68th, I think they pretty much bored that whole stuff. I don't think they plowed it. I think they're planning to plow some of this,
That's not
but
anything bad.
they may find it works easier to just load it all.
Yeah, I second it.
Good.
Get that?
Yep.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you.
I really don't like that. Hanging below the light bars makes the clearance a lot less.
Oh, yeah.
That was the problem we had north of Newhall 2 years ago, roughly, I think, when we were shouldering around the inside of that curve. We caught the same line
Yeah.
and mangled it up pretty tough, so.
Very good.
We're right in the ground myself too. In the same general area, 19th Avenue, that bridge that's been embargoed, that we had a box culvert designed for, that contractor started a week ago Thursday to tear that out. Friday they poured concrete. About noon on Friday they had all the concrete poured, and we're back filling that right now. So we need to take the embargo off of that old bridge. So a resolution here to do that.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Really?
We're not up 2 foot on the ground.
No, we kept this one just a little bit lower a bit, so.
Second it then.
Gary made the motion and Tracy seconded. It's by resolution.
Here's aye.
Demon, aye.
And Primer, aye.
So I'll set back on the activities, I think it might be open by the weekend.
Did you make the local residents real happy then from last week?
I think so. And Ben had talked to them on the phone while we were meeting last week, and then Benson in person Thursday afternoon, and went over things. The contractor has talked to them a little bit more too, so.
Okay.
It sounded like resolution was settled and that it was probably good there, so.
North of Blairstown. You're gonna paint that road sometime?
Oh, okay.
I'm getting some heat from local residents.
Double check the map, I don't know. I know there was a couple left at the end.
Do you know when that software's coming for the scanner?
I've already got it.
Sweet.
I just have to have her bring in that
Can
laptop.
put it on the laptop.
I'd show her how to use it.
We got them done yesterday, but it wasn't too bad. We did it in text.
I have to install something on her computer and then something on the laptop.
Oh, so that they use that before.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Morning, David.
Morning.
How many signs do we have to replace here? Are you getting that pretty well started?
A vast majority, I know, I think all of the posts had been replaced, or maybe not, straightened, and temporarily repaired. We were waiting for some posts to come in, and no post came in, and those wooden posts that got broken, we've been using the square steel ones, so we're gonna have to go out and replace those with that. Had a few issues leading up to this with the pounder that wasn't working, things along those lines that have all been remedied. So they're in the process of finishing that up, and they have most of that finished.
Courtney didn't want to
There
carry
were
it.
a few signs that were also temporarily repaired. Some of those signs that flopped with the wind have a bigger hole in them, and we just took a washer to put them up, and we're gonna replace those signs. Some of those signs either have just been received or are on order due to be received shortly.
That's quite a job.
But we had 2 crews going there for a while, shortly after the storm, working in different directions, just trying to cover more ground.
You got many applications in?
Yes, there's probably, yes, just answer that, yeah.
All I needed.
Okay,
That's quite a deal.
all right,
Get your new trucks, right?
yes. Yep, they're parked out there. Mm-hmm. You see them probably pretty easily if you've been driving by, so.
Yeah.
When do you think you're gonna hire? Shortly?
Probably.
Okay.
Makes the most sense since tomorrow's the deadline, that application, so.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Mm-hmm.
That storm really caused a lot of troubles. My goodness. I really feel for the guys replacing signs. My goodness. They're all messed up.
Okay, well, let's move forward.
All right,
Okay?
that's all I had.
Thank you,
All right.
Kurt.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Now it's time for onward and upward.
Yeah.
Well, David, you have on here for a possible closed session.
Yes, and because of the way it works, I'd like to do that one first.
Okay. could need a motion as per that would authorize the county attorney and myself to meet with the director of the organization to discuss items we talked about in closed session.
So moved.
Walk through that.
You did good. Well, I got it too.
Yeah. Okay, Tracy made the motion, Gary seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
David, you'll make the arrangements, no, please.
I will.
Okay,
We'll be doing that sooner rather than later.
okay. I'm
I
gonna
would
be
say-
gone next week.
Oh, then we're gonna try to do that this week.
Okay, I'm gonna be gone tomorrow.
Oh, when are you gone and not, when are you back?
Saturday the 24th. You know that
You're
house
gone,
you,
you're gone a lot.
you know that house you painted? That's what I'm gonna go do.
Actually, it's not done yet.
Yeah, I got a
It's
house
getting
in paint.
Okay, so
Live feed
you're gone
just where we're
tomorrow
at.
until the 24th.
Yes.
Let me see if I can set something up.
I'll show you.
Or, okay, or if you need one of the others.
I'll show you when we get down here. I'll show you when we get down here.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so moving along. Are we back on my items?
Yes, sir.
Okay, since the sheriff is still here, let's do the, well, actually, I can do it this way. My item number 2, Heartland Risk Investigation, I don't need to talk about that at this point, so consider it removed. Want to give you an update on the issue of hiring outside counsel to handle labor negotiations and human resources. I'm still working on that. I've talked to a couple law firms that I think might be decent on the labor negotiations end, and I want to visit with Ron about that privately. As far as human resource management, that's how I categorized it. I'll be honest, I'm not at this point inclined to go with the hiring of a law firm until I know some more information. So what I would propose is I would like to sit down with somebody like, say, Rick Primer and the auditor, and I know that the auditor's busy with this election, but can he be after the election? If she's got time before the election, I'd like to sit down and talk about exactly what it is they think they need and how they would benefit from it. I do have a couple of firms in mind for that as well, if we go that route, but before I actually call up a firm and say, hey, would you be willing to do this or willing to do that? What would your rates be? What kind of services would you offer? I think I want to hear more information about what the auditor's office thinks it is they need. That's not a bad thing, I just need more info.
Sure. Yeah.
Sheriff's Department, union negotiations and issues contained therein, I've got a pretty good handle on that. And the sheriff and I will talk privately. When we talk privately, I have an issue that he will have a good handle on as well, so I'm not worried about that one. So
Makes sense.
if there's some time before the election, that would be great. And if not, whenever you free up.
I'll make time. I mean, it was actually Rick's idea for me to reach out to somebody as well, so.
Okay. Well, I don't know what else you have left on the agenda, but since you're taking off, if you would have time after this meeting, I'm here, if you both would.
Okay.
I'd just like to talk about it a little bit more.
No
Again, I do think that if we go with law firms to do this type of specialized representation, I do think they're good people here in our area. I think that we want someone here rather than 2 hours away.
Well, I don't think they'd always have to come in person.
They wouldn't, but if you have if for instance for the labor negotiations, so let's say you're gonna do the secondary roads or we don't have to do that one for a while, but the sheriff's contract, it's up for negotiation. How often would Groom would always come out for those things, and in the course of a single negotiation, he'd be out here a minimum of 2 times, if not 3 times, including a couple times to the board of supervisors, and that would be that attorney that used to handle that for us, making those physical trips in. But you can get into a situation with, either union, but, if you get into a situation with a disciplinary matter where you actually have a grievance hearing or go into arbitration or things like that, that stuff's gonna happen out here. And sure, most of the time, the attorneys don't have to come out, they can handle things by the phone, but they come out enough that, you know, is the law firm in Des Moines or West Des Moines so great that that's worth that? Because I don't think that they're, I mean, I think that they're a good firm, don't get me wrong, but I think that there's firms here in eastern Iowa that are
Cut
just as
down on
good.
some of the travel time, for
Exactly.
sure. Yeah.
You know, and sometimes there's a comfort, by the way, in having the attorney show up, believe it or not, in person. You know, it's easier to schedule. Something comes up in an emergency, you know, the attorney's a half hour away versus 2 hours away. You know, so I just think that unless there's some strong drawing to the Des Moines area, I
They
think
were
we
just
should-
highly
Yeah,
recommended.
that's all it was.
I think
By
we
more than one,
Recommendation.
yeah. more
I
than
think that we should, there's other people out there that do pretty good work.
Okay. Good, yeah, we can get together. Are you available
Yeah.
for a few minutes?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be very long.
Right, okay. Is there anything else? Okay, I do need to visit with the sheriff. It's gonna take 2 minutes.
Listen, I know you two are close. That doesn't upset me.
No.
It's
Not
what
that
you buy
close.
lunch.
So, all right.
Again, Shelby Williams coming in now.
Oh, she's coming in now?
Right up there.
Okay,
I
good.
did not know how long this was gonna take
Okay.
or what was going on.
Oh, would you, if you remember, would you ask her to stop up? I have a document for her.
I sure will. She's on her way.
She's on her way in. Well, do I have time to visit with
Yes,
the
you
sheriff?
do. Yes, you do.
Okay.
How about we'll just take a recess?
Take a break.
Okay?
Okay, good, thank you.
Mhm.